What is it? No. I could see the red stepping out at the beginning of the corner. We drift the car. We actually catch the car heading into turn 3. Turbo 51 over here. I hope you're having a splendid day wherever you are in the world. And guys, the first 2 episodes did so well. I knew that you guys are going to enjoy this. We are back with round number 2 of our F2 2020 personally created career mode, driving as Nobuharu Matsushita for MP Motorsport. Guys, if you haven't checked out the previous episode, well, 2 episodes on this, the feature race and the sprint race, don't be a dummy, go check them out, because trust me, that both those races were absolute slobber knockers. Go check them out in the playlist that I have already created. Guys, this weekend we are heading towards Vietnam for the Vietnamese F2 weekend, and it's gonna be a crazy one, so let's head straight to qualifying. In quali, as you guys can already see, there's not going to be any talking at this stage of the video. It's one-shot quali for F2 so that the videos don't take me too long, guys. Remember, I'm doing F1 career mode, F1 my team, F2 2020. I've got to practice for my league racing now in between, as well as Need for Speed and Dirt 4, which are still going to be played, you guys know. So it's going to be quite intense here, Turbo Fox Racing, so I need to try, wherever I can save time, I need to save time, because I've still got a personal life as well. So, guys, heading towards this quali session, look, I really love this Vietnamese circuit. I can't believe that it was on the F1 calendar, COVID hit, and we were never even going to race this track, because I really love this track on the game. So to me, it's really sad that the track has already lost, you know, a place on the calendar. It was never even raced on. But we need to enjoy it on F1 2020 while we have it. So let's head straight into it. You guys see through the first few quarters. As currently we are P1. You guys can look in the middle left-hand side of the screen, just above the little mini map. We are currently in first place. Now, one thing that I need to tell you guys, I went for a little bit of a higher downforce setup than the AI. They were stronger than me in a straight line, but not by a sensational amount, if I can put it that way. But I was an absolute king in the corners, as well as especially in that final twisty S section. I was really on it. So that is why I went for just a one click higher downforce on the front and the rear, just to have that little extra bit of grip and speed throughout, especially the third sector. Now on this almost never ending back straight, the twists and turns a bit, but it's flat out all the way, so probably, which would have been the hardest braking zone on the F1 calendar had this track really been introduced and raced in real life. First gear through the corners, short shift up into second gear, get the power down, third, fourth, up into fifth. Now we head towards my favorite sector of the track, sector 3, hard on the anchors, second gear, try and clip the curve down the inside, which I do miss, but I have a beautiful run through the corner. Now through this extra section, trying to go flat out through here, down to fourth gear for this next part, up into, well, I thought I was going to go up into fifth. I keep the car in fourth gear for this next part, down to third for the penultimate S, into the last one, mount that curve on the inside very aggressively, and now we head into the penultimate corner. As through here, get the car in third gear, plant the power straight down, and through the final corner, hug the inside, open up DRS, and we're going to be in P!
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top 3 are
Matsushita,
Markelot and Daniel Ticktum. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the feature race tomorrow, so make sure you join us then. Welcome back to Hanoi then, as our drivers prepare to battle it out in what is sure to be another thrilling Formula 2 race here today. It's a circuit that combines the bespoke design of a traditional racetrack with the tight, close barriers of a street circuit that our drivers race today. 23 corners and a total distance of 3.4 miles. Watch out in particular for overtakes into the braking zone at turn 11. As we await the start of another hugely anticipated Formula 2 race, I'm joined again by Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as a former GP2 champion, can we get some insight to what is running through these young drivers' heads as they sit out on the grid?
Ciao Alex, it's a pleasure to be here. There are nervy moments, there is no doubts about that. Mental strength is the key to remain calm and focusing on the upcoming race. Formula 2 is so competitive and all of these drivers knows that they are going to be pushing each other all of the way. In this sport, you have to be able to control your nerves.
Let's look at the grid order for today's race while the cars make their final preparations. An immense lap from Nobuharu Matsushita yesterday puts him on pole position, and it's Artem Markelov in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Ticktum, Schwartzman, Marcus Armstrong, and Lundgaard, Schumacher, Piquet, Giotto, Dejan Daruvala, Alesi, Samaya, Jack Aitken, and Sato, Dragovic, Ilott, Delatraz, and Nikita Mazepin, Sonoda, and Roy Nissany. Galeo and Guan Yu Zhou completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Pole position. Guys, if you haven't done it yet, please drop a like down below on the video. It's only going to take you a nifty 2 seconds. Make sure, especially if you are new, to hit that subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future episode here on Zimba Fox RacerZ. And guys, heading into this race, you guys can see everybody is going for the contrast strategy from mediums to softs. I was going to be the odd one out as usual, and I'm going to go softs to mediums. Reason being, this track really eats the soft tires on heavy fuel, so I was thinking a little bit, ahead. Get rid of them and get onto the stable tire. So please jam with me on the warm-up lap. Oh yeah.
The back and forth has got me so messed up. Don't ignore the signs. We've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold those strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way. Find a way. Find a way. Find a way out.
F2 cars have never and will never race around this Vietnamese track. But guys, are you ready for the Vietnamese F2 weekend? 5 red lights and it's go, go, go for the F2 feature race here in Vietnam. Myself and Artem Markelov on the front row. We head now towards the first corner. You guys can see once again I bogged on the launch. Markelov and Schwartzman go up my inside. You guys see Schwartzman actually attempts to take the lead away from Artem Markelov. We are down to P3 with Christian Lundgaard right behind us, and we suddenly slow down. I think there might be a safety car or a virtual safety car. Let's see what are the signs on the side of the track. Yes, it is full safety car conditions, so something must have happened to some of the drivers at the back. We now jump back to my POV for my start, and you guys are going to see I bogged because I accidentally double shifted. Second gear, third gear, and then suddenly I go into fourth, and the car just died. I knew that if I shifted back to third gear, I would have lost even more time, so I just saw it through. And you guys can see here, just before the safety car got called out, I tried to go for a little sneaky move here up the inside, but literally as I put my foot down, the safety car came out, and as the safety car came out, I was in P3, so I had to give the lead back to Markelov and Schwartzman. Now we go on board with the man from last place on the grid, Guan Yu Zhou for Uni Virtuosi, And you can see he's got an open part of the track into the first corner. He hits the brakes way too late, and here he hits the back of Marina Sato. The Carlin on the right-hand side, I'm not sure who that is. I think it might be Deruvala. Hit the back of some of the other cars. Roy Nassani is there. So nobody actually broke, but there is debris scattered all over the first corner, so that it was compulsory for the safety car to come out so that the marshals could clean the track, because there were front wing parts scattered everywhere. Now you guys can see Giuliano Alesi is into the pit lane. Callum Aylott is in. I think that is Jay and Deruvala in the car and coming in. I'm not sure. It's either him or Yuki Tsunoda. So we've got 3 cars who broke their front wings, and obviously Guan Yu Zhou is going to come in as well because he also broke his front wing. So Uni Virtuosi are going to double stack with an already much slower pit stop in F2 than in F1. So Guan Yu Zhou is going to be stupid amounts behind. But luckily it's safety car conditions, so he will be able to catch back up. And guys, for one thing, this was a 4-lap safety car. Really, I'm not joking. Usually the maximum amount of time the safety car stays out is 3 laps. So it would have come in at the end of the 3rd lap because we had the crash on lap 1, literally at the start of the race. As you guys can see, Giuliano Alesi got held up massively by Guan Yu Zhou, who was waiting to be called into his pit box by the mechanics. But yeah, the safety car was out for 4 laps, I think for the reason to make Giuliano Alesi as well as Guan Yu Zhou actually catch up to the back of us. But you guys can see under safety car conditions, there's another incident behind the safety car. That is Samaya, who actually I think he had a brake failure, guys, because he just didn't stop at all. You guys see Giuliano Alesi comes, and actually there is Samaya who pulled off to the side of the road, and I think he had a brake failure. So Samaya is also out of this race. This race has begun in very crazy and very unpredictable fashion. You've got Artem Markelov leading the way under the safety car conditions from Robert Schwartzman in P2. Then you've got myself as Nobuharu Matsushita in P3. Then P4, I think it is Dan Ticktum this is actually Christian Lundgaard, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, that is Lundgaard. Then you've got Dan Ticktum in P5. Then you've got Marcus Armstrong, the second ART, in P6. P7 is Mick Schumacher, the actual 2020 F2 champion. Pedro Piquet is in P8, so he is on pole for the sprint race as things currently stand. Luca Giotto is in P9 for High Tech GP. And then in 10th place is actually Jay and Deruvala. So it was Yuki Tsunoda in the other car who was involved in the incidents on the first lap. So Yuki Tsunoda has got a lot of work to do. You see, this is now the end of lap 4. The safety car has finally decided it's going to come into the pit lane that the track is safe to race. So the stewards have finally said, okay, it's time for racing. And you guys can see we are now back to racing speed. Well, I'm waiting for the green flag. You guys can see I'm pushing Robert Schwartzman. And guys, remember, I'm the only car on this grid on the soft tires. So the quicker I get past Armstrong and Markelov, the quicker I can build a lead so that I am better off at the end of the race. Now, heading into the first corner, is it going to be dive bomb central? Yes, we take a little bit of inspiration from Daniel Ricciardo. A little bit of bumpy and bargy going through there, but Robert Schwartzman made sure that he squeezed me over that inside curve. But guys, I had no time to waste. You guys can see my tires are already on 22% on the left front. I had no time to waste whatsoever. And also, I need to try and bridge a 1 second gap to Markelov. I need to get...
Okay, gap ahead is 0.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Their tyres are 4 laps old. We think they've got one more stop. The time...
Okay, you guys, sorry, I actually cut away there, but you guys, obviously, my engineer was talking about Markelov. I need to pass Markelov, make sure that I bridge a 1 second gap to him before the DRS gets activated, because you guys can think, on a track like this, remember, where the AI have lower downforce than me on the straights, so they are quicker than me in the straights, with DRS on this endlessly long back straight, they are going to annihilate me in a straight line if they've got the assistance of DRS. Now, with the safety car that has come out, you have basically from the safety car restart, there needs to be 2 laps of clean racing, and DRS will be activated on the 3rd lap. So this current lap we're on, no DRS. The next lap, no DRS. But the lap after that, DRS will be enabled. And I need to make sure that I am past Markelov and have bridged a 1 second gap to him before that time comes. Otherwise, my race is going to go to utter crap. There's no other way to put it, because I am on the toughest strategy. Damn, I can't talk. To pull off on these soft tires, which first of all overheat in this final sector with heavy fuel, and they were quicker. But you guys see it, into the penultimate corner, I catch Markelov napping. Beautiful move there up the inside. That was smooth sailing, and now we've literally got 1 lap to pull 1 second, and I'm going to have to put my foot to the floor like I've never done before. You can see Mick Schumacher there coming out of the roundabout. He actually has a little bit of a tank slapper there, and now he is under massive pressure from Pedro Piquet. This is for P7 and P8, guys. So for the front row of the sprint race, here we go. Pedro Piquet v Mick Schumacher down this little bendy back straight and into the braking zone. Pedro Piquet is going to have the optimal line, actually. The outside line is better for this hairpin because you can get the power down as long as the inside guy doesn't squeeze you over the curb, which Schumacher does not do to Piquet, and Piquet is now up into P7. We now jump back to Yuki Tsunoda, one of the cars that was involved in the first lap incident, and you can see these guys have basically converted now to my strategy. They are doing the softs to mediums, but they're going to have to stop again because these softs, there's no way on earth that they will do the whole race. So these drivers will have to stop again. But these guys coming from the back have now got the quicker compound on their cars, like myself. Now you guys see once again, we jump on board with Mick Schumacher, who's really, guys, he's struggling for pace at this stage. It seems the medium tires are not working for that little Prema. And here comes Luca Giotto for high-tech GP. Schumacher has a massive double lockup heading into the hairpin, but he actually defends from Giotto very beautifully there. We now go back to Giotto, who actually gets re-overtaken by Roy Nissany down the back straight. Now you guys can see how strong the DRS is here with the F2 cars. And guys, remember, all these cars are identical. The only way your car is quicker than your opponent is through your driving style and the way you tune the car. So it's all about tune setup and the driver. So you guys see, here comes Marcus Armstrong around the outside of Dan Ticktum, and that is now ART 4th and 5th. So they are having a very good feature race thus far. Luca Giotto, for the second time going, tries to move up the inside of Schumacher, and he gets the move done. Actually, I think he was on the outside for the previous move. I've quickly had a little bit of a brain fart, but the point is, he has passed Schumacher. Now we jump back to Tsunoda as he is trying to re-overtake Nissany. He overtook him, got re-overtaken, and now he's trying to re-overtake his original overtake. Okay, but Tsunoda up the inside of Nissany through the little not the hairpin, the roundabout, and he is ahead. But now once again, Nissany is going to have the DRS, and he's got Giuliano Alesi right behind him for company, sniffing his gearbox oil. The DRS opens up as Tsunoda and Nissany squeeze Alesi very harshly towards the wall there, and now Guan Yu Zhou is getting in onto the action. He's passed Alesi already, tried to go around the outside of Nissany. Beautiful defense there from Tsunoda as Guan Yu Zhou gets past Nissany and Alesi. And now we jump onto the next lap, and you guys will see Zhou and Tsunoda are absolutely gone. And now as well, Alesi gets past Nissany, and that is now, but guys, that's basically for the wooden spoon. That was fighting for P21 till P18. So those guys are really, they're struggling. You guys see, we jump on board with myself as we start lap 10. We've got a 4.2 second gap on Markelov, but it was at this stage where my tires were starting to really struggle. I was struggling to get any pace out of the car due to the tires. Now we jump back on board with the two ART guys battling for P4. And this is actually Marcus Armstrong trying to overtake his teammate Christian Lundgaard, and right around the outside at the hairpin, will Armstrong actually get the move done? He does. The junior Ferrari driver absolutely schools his teammate around the outside. Beautiful move there from Marcus Armstrong on Christian Lundgaard. Now we jump on board with Jayan Deruvala as that was very, very, very aggressive there from Deruvala. He nearly loses the rear end there at 300 kilometers an hour, but he goes right around the outside of Mick Schumacher, and once again Schumacher is really struggling for pace, guys. The next person who's going to try and overtake him is my teammate Felipe Dragovic. I nearly said Deruvala, but Dragovic is going to be the next person to try and overtake Schumacher, as now we look here towards Marcus Armstrong and Marcus Armstrong to Artem Markelov and Robert Schwartzman fighting behind me for P2, and Schwartzman in that Prema is really trying to take away P2 from Markelov. Prema versus HWA Racing. Well, BWT HWA Racing. That's a lot of letters in one sentence. But here we go. Markelov is defending beautifully as they head through the Vietnamese S's. But Schwartzman is not giving an inch as well as Markelov. It's wheel-to-wheel racing here. But Markelov seems to have just a little bit of an edge on Schwartzman. As we head into the penultimate corner, Markelov will have the inside. And that is, it's curtains because he's going to squeeze Schwartzman into the wall if Schwartzman didn't back out of that. So Markelov is still in P2. It's a 5.8 second gap. But that actually, guys, we quickly rewind because now I'm into the pit lane. And as you guys can see, on my my little chart there on the bottom right, you guys can see on my heads-up display, it says that I've got front wing damage. Now, I can confirm that I do not have front wing damage. It's that glitch where if you just like tap a wall, the wing says it's got damage, but I literally checked and I didn't feel any loss of downforce. I don't have front wing damage. And why have you guys prepared? No. MP Motorsport. No. Oh my. I'm gonna lose it. What are you guys doing? Guys, oh no. I've just lost this race. I have just lost this race.
Release.
A 16.8 second pit stop. For what? A front wing, there was nothing wrong with this.
Stay clear of the white line on the exit. You'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Jeff, just keep quiet now, guys. I am fuming. Why did they do that? You literally needed to look at the front wing. Is there something broken? No, there isn't. Did I complain about a loss of downforce? No, I didn't. And now I am dead last. Look, nobody has yet made a pit stop except myself. I honestly know I'm not going to be dead last when everybody makes their pit stops. But for the rest of this race, on a tire which I actually need to preserve, I need to be soft on my medium tires. Now I need to push quali laps every single lap because my team has just screwed me over. I go up the inside of Roy Nassani. That is now P20 because remember Samaya is no longer in this race with us. And Robert Schwartzman is also going for a move now, literally for the race lead around the outside of Markelov. The more these guys fight, the better it's going to be for myself because obviously I've got the freshest tires on the entire grid now. So I am going to be without a shadow of a doubt the quickest. But I had, 6 seconds on Markelov. I lost 16 seconds in the pit, 17. You can say 17 seconds in the pit lane. So I need to make up 10 seconds. I need to make up 10 seconds of time while trying to get through the rest of the pack. So I need to do that while overtaking. The MP Motorsport has absolutely screwed me for no reason whatsoever. They felt that no, I had to have a front wing change. For what? For what? There's no point in doing that. I was in such a good position. And it's not, guys, if I wanted the front wing to be replaced, I would have said box immediately if I did break the front wing. I nipped one of the walls. I think it was actually at the final corner. I had a little bit of a tank slapper coming out of the final corner, that quick left-hander. And I tapped my rear end on the wall, never hit the front. And I know for a fact that I didn't have front wing damage. In F2, because you don't have any ERS or fuel mixes, I run with my tire wear percentages open constantly. That is the screen I have up on my MFD because there's nothing else I can really do unless I want to change my differential, which I almost never do. I'm not an esports driver, so I don't need to change that constantly to get every single millisecond out of the car. But I've literally... I know I didn't have front wing damage. You have to see we now are on board on board with myself on lap 18, and all the leaders have come into the pit lane now. Now I can confirm that that I'm actually fighting at the back. We are now behind Marina Sato. I don't see any of the other drivers. We go up the inside of Marina Sato at the final corner, like we did with Artem Markelov after the safety car restart. We now are right behind Nikita Mazepin, and now Nikita Mazepin. We're rather not going to talk about it now, guys. You guys saw that on the left hand side. I did pass Robert Schwartzman in the pit lane, so I've made up the time that I lost. I do have fastest lap. But we've still got a lot of work to do. We are now basically pushing Nikita Mazepin through this corner. What is going on? Mazepin, why is Mazepin so slow? Why are you holding me up? Get out of the way!
He's not too clever, this guy.
Yeah, he's definitely not too clever. I can confirm that Nikita Mazepin was not driving very smart there. Guys, I think you guys can realize I am so mad at my team because I have to drive after getting pole position and being the rightful person in P1 after I re-overtook my Markelov and Schwartzman after my bad start off of the line. I deserved to be in P1 and they screwed me. But like I always say, never give up in racing, but you guys can understand why I am so abruptly mad. But now, you guys can see that Markelov did dive into the pit lane. This is now me heading into the penultimate corner, and now you guys can realize how much I have pushed these last, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 laps. We are going to resume in the lead, but you guys can see right there is Robert Schwartzman on fresh, soft tires against my worn mediums. Now, I knew for the end of this race, I needed to have at least like a 10, 12 second gap, and that was what I needed. Now I had like 7 seconds, so I still made up a lot of time. Schwartzman does come out in P2 ahead of Markelov, and then the two ARTs follow closely behind of Armstrong and Lundgaard. So ART are really having a phenomenal race here, and they are constantly with Markelov and Schwartzman. If they can hang on to Markelov, ART can sniff a nifty podium here. Then you've got Dan Ticktum in P6. Here's Pedro Piquet in P7, still driving a fantastic race. Jack Aitken is now actually securing P8 with Luca Ghiotto in P9, and Mick Schumacher is still within the points in P10, but only for a little bit of one measly point is all he's going to have. We jump onto the back straight, and guys, look at Artem Markelov. He is not hanging back for anything. He is trying to take back the P2 that he lost to Robert Schwartzman just before the pit stop sequences commenced. And this is Artem Markelov now back up into P2. And guys, Markelov, I knew, was going to be a very tough cookie to crack if I wanted to stay ahead of him. Now, I was still very good in the final sector, but they were schooling me in Sector 1 and Sector 2, and basically I was matching them in Sector 3. But I wasn't gaining time at any stage in this final stint. I was losing time lap by lap by lap to Markelov and Schwartzman. You can see we come down to the end of lap 23, and I've got 2.5 seconds to Markelov. 2.5, that's nothing. 2.6, okay, 2.6. So I've still got, 7 laps to go? And I need to hang on with my left front already starting to give up. Actually, my right front is giving up a little bit more than my left front. But after 30%, these mediums just go downhill. And you guys can see this is actually my teammate Felipe Dragovic actually trying to get himself into the point as he is now going for a move on Luca Ghiotto. I think he actually is in the points. This is the battle now for P9. So Dragovic is actually driving really well. I think he wants to try and get that reverse pole like he did at the previous race where we were at Bahrain. At Bahrain. So up the inside goes Dragovic, and that is P9. Beautiful racing there from Dragovic and Ghiotto. And now this is now Aitken actually catching up to the back of Pedro Piquet. I think Campos were on the radio telling Aitken, you've got Dragovic coming up behind you. Get a move on. And now he's caught Pedro Piquet for P7. Will he go around the outside in the Campos car, around the Charus? There we go. Aitken is now up into P7, and Pedro Piquet is down to P8, but that is still reverse grid front row. But here we go now, back on board with Luca Ghiotto. He's trying to re-overtake my teammate Felipe Dragovic. This is for the wooden spoon of the top 10, P9 and P10, but still every single point in F2 counts. And as you guys can see, there's just no front end bite for Ghiotto there, and he has to let Dragovic go. But now we jump back on board with myself, and you guys can see I'm not sure what lap this is. I think this is actually starting the penultimate lap, so we've got 2 laps to go in this race, and I have kept Markelov at bay. Actually started to grow a gap to Schwartzman, who is now just holding up Marcus Armstrong. Christian Lundgaard has not been able to hang on to this little group, so we have kept Markelov at bay. We have literally kept Markelov at bay. But now it's the final 2 laps, and I can confirm my tires were starting to die corner by corner. Every corner felt worse than the previous, and we've still got Dragovic and Ghiotto fighting over P9 and P10. You guys can see I'm still yet to give Markelov DRS, but guys, I had no corner exit grip, like nothing. The corner entry, nothing. Corner exit, even less. So I was really just struggling to keep the car out of the walls, and yet I was still trying to push with everything I had, trying to make sure that Markelov does not get within that 1 second, because I knew if he got within that 1 second, I was an absolute sitting duck. We now look on board with Robert Schwartzman as he is actually under pressure from Marcus Armstrong. But Armstrong doesn't seem to be close enough just yet. Let's wait and see what happens on the final lap between Schwartzman and Armstrong. Now let's take a look back at Dragovic. Will he be able to defend from Lundgaard and Schumacher. I think he will. I think he's got more than enough of a gap. But like I said, DRS here is a little bit overpowered. But let's just make sure. Into the corner. Yes, Dragovic keeps it ahead of Giotto. One more lap to go, Dragovic. One more lap to go, and you'll secure yourself a beautiful 2 points. But now, unfortunately, he will not have a reverse grid pole. But as you guys can see, in the final sector, Markelov is really just... He can smell the amount of stress, I think, coming off my car. Because look how close he is. Will he have DRS coming through the final corner? No, he actually does not. Markelov does not have DRS. But guys, I can confirm that this final lap, there was nothing left. Like, my tires were absolutely shot. Now we head through the second corner. What is it? No, I could see the red stepping out at the beginning of the corner. We drift the car. We actually catch the car heading into turn 3, through turn 4. Now I'm completely screwed. I am screwed. Here comes Markelov. DRS open. You guys can see I'm very aggressive with him, trying to squeeze him to the wall. But I have to leave a space so he can come through. We are side by side. He actually shuts the door on me. I have to re-dive it up the inside. Markelov, no contact weight whatsoever. Beautiful racing there from us. He tries to go up the inside there, but now I need to try and hang on to this car through this freaking roundabout, and there's no grip whatsoever. You guys can see I already pull all the way to the inside to get out of the slipstream of Artem Markelov. But like I said at the beginning of the video, these guys are running less downforce than me, and now DRS is open. Here comes Markelov. He's got nothing to lose. He can go for the dive bomb of the century. We go to the inside to defend the inside. Markelov around the outside. I actually should have stayed around the outside, but I was scared that he was going to squeeze me onto this outside curb. We give the squeeze to him, and we maintain P1 on the final lap. How are we managing this? Here comes Markelov, car 14, V car 16. But oh, why did I jump all the way back? Oh yeah, guys, replay time. Sorry, I forgot to put in a transition. Sorry, that is my mistake. But you guys can forgive one little mistake. This has been a cracking race. Now, into the first corner, you guys can see my fronts are over 50%, the rears are over 30. And as I put the power down, the car just the torque just, as the turbo kicks in, the torque just throws the car. How I hung on to that, I do not know. How I kept the car out of the wall, I do not know. But now, have a look at this again. Dragovic, I give him a squeeze, but I realized if I squeezed him too much, I would have gotten a penalty for causing a collision and forcing another driver off the track, which would have been into the wall. Massive dive up the edge. As you guys can see, there no contact was made whatsoever between myself and Markelov. I nearly said Dragovic for some other reason. Now look at this. Onto the back straight, I immediately pull to the right hand side. And you guys can see Markelov is actually teasing me. He slowly just moves over to the right hand side as I move to the left, and we just meet each other. And now look at the closing speed. As his time comes down, 2/10 to 1/10. And he just shoots up around my outside. Luckily, I am very brave onto the brakes. I really have to get the car turned in, but I leave him a lot of room. I do not squeeze him to the curb that harshly. We just get the power down. I don't know how. Luckily, but guys, this was... how did I hang on to this? Look at that. The car is completely sideways. I was playing Formula Drift for a few seconds there, for about 2.5 seconds. Look at the POV of Markelov's front wing. I was completely sideways, and then basically I just drifted into the corner. I was actually lucky to drift as far as I did because I drifted right into the corner. That was insane. And now you guys can see how close it was here between myself and Markelov on the back straight. He actually gives me a little bit of a nudge there, and yet look how close he is to the wall. Oh my word. And then actually I had to give him the space back. I think in real life I would have gotten a penalty, but this is the game, and you guys know, I deserve this race win. After everything I've gone through this race, I couldn't just let this slip away. But there's still a lot that can happen through the final sector. I need to be so careful. Guys, after the rear end stepped out at the second corner, I was so careful with this car. I was not pushing. I was so untrustworthy of my rear end. But we've got 2 corners to go. Through the penultimate corner, 1 final corner, and damn oh damn, we deserve this. It's going to be P1 and the win here for this feature race.
How's that? Love that.
So after a day of mixed fortunes up and down the field, we bring today's race to a close. Tell me, Davide, what was the key to this success?
Although the Formula 2 cars are all the same spec, the winner just looked better out there. It would have been a combination of getting those tires up to running temperature faster and driving to the condition on track. They made it look easy out there today.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the MP Motorsport team, and I'm very happy to see them up there on the top step of the podium.
Guys, what an absolutely insane feature race. Look, out of everything that happened with us, we shouldn't have won, but yet we did. We hang on by the literal skin of our teeth to that victory. We didn't get fastest lap, which we knew. Markov takes the fastest lap. My teammate Dragovic actually loses a place to Kyoto, and he is back down to P10. But what an absolutely phenomenal feature race. This was insane. Now guys, if you thought this was good, the sprint race, trust me, is definitely just as good, but in certain senses better. Make sure, if you are new to the channel and you are not yet subscribed and you enjoyed this, make sure to hit that subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future episode, because the sprint race I am posting tomorrow first thing. So you will be able to watch the sprint race tomorrow. That is going to be part of the story for this little weekend. But what an absolutely fantastic sprint race. The weekend is not done. We took pole position, so we had 4 points for getting pole, and now we've taken the full 25 points of the race win. We start in P8 for the sprint race, reversed top 8 for the feature race, and I think it's going to be an absolutely phenomenal sprint race. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Like I've already said, if you enjoyed this and you are not yet subscribed, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe down below. Don't forget to ding that bell to never miss a future episode, because the sprint race is posting first thing tomorrow, and I can guarantee you are going to love it. The second of all, make sure to go check out all the links in the description down below. Follow me on social media. If you want to give me a shout out on my channel, a shout out or this video, make sure to tag me in the post or the story on your social media, and I will give you a shout out on my personal social media as well as in a future video. And guys, also, if you haven't done it yet, for Pete's sakes, I don't know what's gonna make you hit it, but drop a like down below on the video. It's only gonna take you a quick 2 seconds, and trust me, I highly appreciate that. Guys, chaos here in Vietnam, and we've still got the sprint race to go. It is all looking nice and dandy. It is looking fantastic. It's gonna be a good one. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the sprint race. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Cheers!